So I'd like to maybe just give a chance for a very short discussion if somebody has a question they'd like to ask now. Because I think there will be so much to discuss after the next panel too. So if there are any questions, please can you put your hand up. Okay, there's one, and does anybody else have a question now? No other questions now? Okay, so if Svitlana and Olexii, if you can give relatively brief responses, and then there'll be a chance to continue the discussion later. Yeah, why don't we come to the front? Not sure where we're supposed to be facing.
I've got a very brief question. We heard a little bit about more, I guess, the theoretical idea side of it, but I'm very curious to hear about the more practical infrastructures of dissemination now. You talked about the change from 2014 until now. How there's been this change from irony, or I don't remember how you put it. What happened to the infrastructures? Is there anything still in place in Ukraine? Are there, how the film circulated? Is it only online? Are there shows? I just trying to imagine what it's like being an artist in Ukraine right now. Are you able to show your work?
I suppose that's a question mostly to Olexii, but Svitlana, if you have any responses to it, then go ahead. Olexii, do you want to answer first? In terms of existing infrastructures for art.
Actually, I'm not sure that I understood the question. Maybe you could just somehow summarize it in one sentence, because of some technical issues.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just.
As far as I understand, you were asking what kinds of infrastructures for art continue to exist in Ukraine now, and to what extent are you able to show your work, disseminate films, and to show the work of others? So, yeah.
Yeah, thank you. I would rather say that there is a multiplicity of approaches to making art now. Some of people just go on with their recent projects, but most of people, especially who works with moving image, are just, many of them just don't have like any kind of opportunity to keep a critical distance between the subject which they are going to observe or investigate somehow, and with their own position, because actually many people just working on propaganda in order to keep Ukraine alive now. The other approach is to probably to document what is happening now in many ways, mostly with media practices. But the case I would like to admit in particular is the approach which was developed by the Free Filmers Collective, people who are now serving are the people who are in the most hottest regions of Ukraine. They are serving them with humanitarian aid, which is actually, in my opinion, and also Free Filmers perform this way as a filmmaking, actually serving people with humanitarian aid using the same infrastructure of the same networks of people, the same networks of getting some goods is filmmaking now, because the same infrastructure which was used for filmmaking is used for volunteering today. So, and actually many wonderful films are now in progress, and I hope that we will see them pretty soon.
Thank you.
I just wanted to add to Alexei's reply that actually this documentary approach, it emerged in 2013, 2014 and started developing kind of strongly. And what now we see is already the reinterpretation of this documentary practices that took place for the last 8 years. There is something changing in them, but of course the time will show how it develops.
Thank you. I think we have to move to the break, but I want you to keep in mind this analytical framework that both Svitlana and Olexii developed, because I think it really, the two presentations overlap brilliantly. Your movement from the post-colonial to the decolonial, and your exodus from the post-Soviet to the trans-Soviet. I think these are I think they speak very well to each other. So perhaps we can keep those frameworks in mind for the remainder of the discussion. So thank you very much, Svitlana and Olexii.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.